Namaste. This session is a reflection and contemplation on certain thoughts that can help us overcome any kind of powerful habit, whether it is physical or mental. It's based on this knowledge that our true nature is pure and ever free. Yet we see from time to time that there is like a mask that we take on. We get compelled to behave or act or consume certain things that keeps us trapped. Why does this happen if our nature is pure? All the scriptures and all those non-dual teachings say that we are ever pure and we shall ever be pure. That within us also is that great strength to overcome our temporary nature, our fake nature. In one of the texts, the Yoga Vasistha, whose quotes I'm going to use here, it says that when that all-including self, which is that pure nature in us, is perceived, the knot of the heart is broken. All doubts are cut asunder, and all the actions of the past or the karma are destroyed. It is believed that because of our past karma, we are caught up not just in our outward circumstances, but also in our inner proclivities or mental habits. This karma causes us to act and behave repeatedly in a certain way. We take on a masquerade of ourself, an egoistic disposition created by the mind. And the way to overcome this is to contemplate, is to use the intellect, is to use our feeling, and to engage in these reflections so that we may soak it in. Just as when our habits or tendencies arise, if we have reflected enough, then the power of this wisdom will help us to not get carried away by such proclivities. It takes time, of course, but there is no other way. All other means are only temporary. We can distract ourselves. We can engage in perhaps some holy or pure, nice actions, but it will not completely cut away those habits until we are able to completely reflect and abide in that true nature within ourselves. And this true nature is this courageous, powerful true nature. It is full of hope. We don't have to make an effort to create that hope. That hope is with us all the time. But we need to come back and acknowledge this true nature. And if we cannot connect to the experience of our true nature, then we have to reflect on that, perhaps theoretically in the beginning. But by a deep analysis, by reflection, and by simple contemplations like the ones we are doing now, we actually get to experience it by using the power of these thoughts and by using the power of our feelings. We get to actually taste that true nature. And this eventually helps us to break those knots, break those habitual patterns, break those tendencies which keep us trapped, which keep us in suffering, which make us do things against our will. The huge waves of our tendencies keep coming again and again in our being. And yet we get trapped in them. Though we know that it is not good for us, though we have reflected that it is not going to help us. Why is that? Have you ever considered that? It almost feels like we realize that any habit, whether it is a habit of physical, involving our physical body, or if it is a habit using our mind, thoughts and feelings, our emotions, we seem somehow dragged by this against our will. Or rather, we seem to lose that fine level of discernment and reason when this happens. It's only later we realize what has happened, that we have indulged in this habitual pattern and that it is bringing us some suffering, or it is bringing us more bondage, or it is creating a loss, and it is creating a disconnection not just with the people outside but with our own self, with our own true being. Soon that happiness we thought we got from that object is actually creating unhappiness in us. We lose our confidence, we lose our sense of hope, and we lose our zest for life. We know that the only way now is to break these habits. We want to break this habit. We determine to break these habits. First, we come to this state by reflection, by realizing that what we are doing is not good and healthy for us. And then, with that awareness, we start working directly into these habits. We start trying to break these habits. The Yoga Vasistha says that in this world, everything is secured by well-applied self-effort. And this self-effort is this effort, the highest level is to understand and abide in our true nature. And the next level of effort is to directly work with those habits that doesn't allow us to abide in our true nature, to realize that happiness, to experience even a state of life where we feel free, we feel full of hope, we feel confident, we have a zest for life. This past series of mental impressions that is left behind because of a past bad or negative habit and actions is what has to be overcome, and this has to be conquered by self-effort. Unless we make that effort, unless we hold on to this knowledge, unless we try to come back again and again to this pure nature, that wisdom will remain weak and we will remain compelled by our habitual tendencies. But if by creating this right thought patterns, and if by making daily actions we create the right mental effort, we create those conditions, we create naturally that attraction towards those things, those people, those situations in our life who actually help us to overcome this. And then we no longer hide and seek that security and comfort in that little dark areas of our own mind, but rather we roar like a lion. We realize that we can ever be free no matter what kind of challenges we face. We do not need to seek those little physical and mental habits which keep us bound, which keep us in suffering. So make a resolution that you will continue to make this effort unless you make that continued, consistent effort. Despite failures, despite any kind of challenges, despite any kind of lack of hope, then you will actually realize your true nature, in which you will find that pure happiness. But on the other hand, you can also make that effort to keep reflecting on thoughts like this, on keep reflecting that your true nature is ever pure, untainted, and that you will ever be able, you always have that strength to overcome anything in your life. And this pure non-dual nature, which is free of any objective compulsions, which is free of any kind of objective creations in your own mind, can be realized in the here and now. It is the simple experience of I am. It is the simple experience of being. It is the simple experience of being conscious right here, right now. And if you can hold on to that, if you can trust in that, and even if you do not experience it, if you take this faith of not a objective kind of faith, but a subjective kind of faith, then you can overcome all negative habits and you will be free from all kinds of sufferings. Nothing will keep you compelled, nothing will make you do things against your will or wish. My only wish, my only prayer is that you may realize this ability in yourself, your true nature, that will help you overcome all habits. As long as we are embodied in this world, we will keep being compelled with this physical and mental habits. But at the same time, that as long as we are alive, as long as we are conscious, we have that power, that capacity to overcome those habits. Because our true nature is ever free, ever pure, and it is realized in just here, right now. And this state is the state of supreme happiness. We don't have to grasp at it, we don't have to look for it. It is here, right now. Namaste. Om.